Right, so hello and welcome back to Books and Things, and welcome to another video, and today I have for you a bit of a book haul. So this is probably going to be the last book haul I do for a while. Probably, hopefully, we'll see. As I think I mentioned in my 2026 goals video, I'm going to try and buy fewer books / acquire fewer books. I'm not putting myself on like a strict book buying ban or anything like that. I just have a lot of books that I own already that I'm really keen to read. So I think I probably am not going to do a book haul for a while. I was thinking every now and then I make those sort of chatty books and things videos where I talk about various bits and pieces, and I feel like maybe I will start to incorporate a little book haul element into there, so that if I have acquired 1 or 2 books, then I will mention it in that video. Because I do feel like sometimes I get into a mindset of, well, I've bought 3 books and that's not really enough to make a book haul video, so I guess I'll just buy 3 more, which is not the reason I want to be buying books. However, before I embark upon possibly buying fewer books and certainly doing fewer book haul videos, I thought I would do a book haul of the books I got for Christmas and tell you about them. So in this video I have a few books that I got for Christmas and a few books that I bought myself with like Christmas vouchers. So one book I got for Christmas was this. This is The Manual for Good Wives by Lola J, which is a historical fiction novel set in the Victorian period that I'm really excited to read. The premise sounds wonderful. So this novel is about a woman who has been writing a column in a sort of Victorian journal advising young women how to be a good wife and mother. But she has been writing under a pseudonym. She is in fact neither a wife nor a mother, and she is an African-born black woman. And this book is about what happens when her identity is discovered. And I just thought this sounded like a really interesting book, so I'm very much looking forward to reading this one. I also got this for Christmas, The Witching Hour, which is a collection of short stories by various British historical fiction writers. This is the 3rd volume that has been produced by Sphere. The first one was The Haunting Season, then they did Winter Spirits, and this is The Witching Hour. And I'm really excited for this, and I'm hoping that I will read it probably December 2026. So this has stories in it from Bridget Collins, Imogen Hermes Gower, Stacey Halls, who has newly joined the lineup for this edition, and I'm so pleased because I love Stacey Halls' books a lot. Kieran Maud Hargrave, Andrew Michael Hurley, Jess Kidd, Elizabeth McNeil, Michelle Paver, I think she's new to this collection as well, Natasha Pulley, Susan Stokes Chapman, Laura Shepherd Robinson, Stuart Turton and Katrina Ward. And I'm just very delighted to own this collection because I've really enjoyed the previous 2, and I think this will be great. I also got this for Christmas, which I'm going to save for Jane Austen July, and I think will be really entertaining. This is a book called You Are Elizabeth Bennet, which is a Jane Austen like choose your own adventure story, which I'm pretty sure Jack from Spread Book Joy did last Jane Austen July and made a video of and had fun doing, so I might do that too. Maybe I will make a video of it. I think this will be very entertaining. Nick gave me some DC Comics for Christmas. I'm trying to get more into comics at the moment and have been really enjoying that journey so far. Gotham by Gaslight is a Batman comic from the 1980s featuring Batman in late 19th century Gotham trying to track down Jack the Ripper. I've already read this one. It is very fun. Then I also have Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. I haven't read this yet, but I am looking forward to reading it. I have seen one of the Watchmen films, and I'm very curious to read this. It is a superhero story in an alternative dimension, but it's quite dark. Well, it's very dark, and I think, yeah, I think this will be great. Nick also gave me Curtain, Poirot's Last Case by Agatha Christie. Nick and I have been working our way through the Poirot books in publication order over the last few years. We have 9 Poirot books left to read, including Curtain, and in 2025, we listened to together 9 Poirot books. So we might finish the Poirot series in 2026, but maybe in 2027. But it's very nice to own a copy of the final one, which we'll be working towards. I just find Agatha Christie's books so fun, and Poirot is just such an enjoyable character, and the mysteries are, by and large, just fantastic. Every now and then there's one that is less good, but in general, I just love the series, and I'm looking forward to reading the last 9 books, I guess. It'll be weird to have no more Poirot to read, but luckily Agatha Christie does have quite a lot of other books as well. Then I also have a few more books from Victoria's archives to show you, one of which was a Christmas present, and the other 2 I bought myself, but with a Christmas voucher. So Victoria's Archive, if you don't know, is a publisher publishing out-of-print Victorian books that are otherwise not very easy to get your hands on in physical copies. And I really enjoy the Victoria's Archives editions, which are really nicely typeset and have footnotes in and are really nice and easy to read. So here I have Faulkner by Mary Shelley, which is a novel from 1837, so it just sneaks into the Victorian era, though obviously Frankenstein, her most famous book, is from before the Victorian period. The only thing I have read by Mary Shelley is Frankenstein, which I would like to reread actually, because it's been a good decade since I last read it. And the recent adaptation of Frankenstein, for all its huge flaws, did make me really want to reread Frankenstein to dwell upon all the ways in which it didn't do that but justice. So I would like to reread Frankenstein, but I would also really like to read more by Mary Shelley, because though I love Frankenstein, that's the only thing I've read by her. And I think Faulkner should be hopefully an interesting read. I don't really know much about this, and I'm going to read the back. Whenever I pick up a Penguin Black Spine or an Oxford World Classics, I never read the back of the book because I just don't have faith in Penguin or Oxford not to spoil the story. Much as I love the Penguin Black Spine classic editions, I don't have faith in them not to spoil the story. But I think I do have faith in Victoria's Archive not to spoil the story on the back of the book, which is high praise. This is apparently about a young woman who is rescued from a life of uncertainty by an enigmatic man who has some kind of guilty secret in his past, and that sounds fascinating. This is Mary Shelley's last novel, and I'm very excited to read it. And then also from Victoria's Archives, I've got two novels by Dina Craik, who's an author I really, really love. I've read several novels by her, my favourite being Olive, which I just love. It's just a wonderful Victorian buildings roman, and I'm very keen to read more by her. So here I have one very short one, The Laurel Bush, from the 1870s, about a young governess and her love story. I think this one is pretty short, it's a novella, and yeah, looking forward to this one a lot. Then the other Dina Craik book I've got here is A Life for a Life from 1859, which I'm very excited for. I've been meaning to read this one for ages. It's been on my ebook TBR for a while, and it's nice to have a physical copy that will remind me to read this one. I feel like this is going to be quite a dark Dina Craik novel, but this is about again a man who has a very guilty secret in his past and his relationship with a particular woman. And I just have a feeling that this one is going to be great, which may be related to the fact that I loved Anthony Trollope's novel called A Life for a Life, but you know, I'm just excited for this. Then finally, I have two 20th century classics that I also bought with Christmas book tokens. And here I have Diary of a Provincial Lady by E.M. Delafield. And this is one of the Persephone Classics editions. Persephone Classics are a publisher who take sort of forgotten and out of print 20th century classics and put them into lovely editions, and I really like their publications. One of my absolute favourite books of 2025 was a short story collection that Persephone had produced called the Persephone Book of Short Stories, and my favourite story within that was a story called Holiday Group, I think, by E.M. Delafield, and I just thought it was amazing. So I just really would like to read more by E.M. Delafield, and this is her most famous book, Diary of a Provincial Lady. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm slightly bemused by the typesetting because it looks like it's quite a thick book, but the font is absolutely huge in comparison to normal Persephone books, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe that's because of the diary format or something. Anyway, I believe this is a sort of semi-autobiographical novel, I think that's right, that began as a weekly column in a magazine. Judging from the short story I read by E.M. Delafield, I just feel like I'm really going to like this a lot. Then finally, I got myself a copy of Lolly Willows by Sylvia Townsend Warner. I have been hearing a lot about Lolly Willows lately. I feel like I had never heard of it until a couple of months ago, and then Lucy the Reader, another booktuber whose videos I really enjoy, started talking about how much she had loved Lolly Willows last year. And I thought to myself, maybe I should read Lolly Willows, that sounds like my kind of book. And it had multiple comments from other people saying, you would like Lolly Willows, you should read Lolly Willows. So thank you everyone for the recommendation. I have purchased Lolly Willows. I'm very excited. I have a feeling I will like this. We'll see whether or not I do. But I feel like I would like to read more 20th century classics, or maybe more accurately, I would like to read more 20th century classics beyond Agatha Christie. But yeah, this novel is from 1926. And I don't know very much about it, and I'm not going to read the back because I don't trust Penguin, though they make very nice editions. I think maybe this is a coming of age story. I feel like when I watch booktube videos, I'm not very good at retaining like the details of what a novel is about, but I am very good at retaining, I thought that sounded like a book I would like. So I thought this sounded like a book I would like. I'm excited for it. Those are the books I have acquired in the last month or so over Christmas. As I said, I think this will probably be my last book haul for a while because I would like to acquire books at a slightly slower rate. Partly because I'm running out of bookshelf space, and partly because there are so many books on my TBR already that I'm really, really excited to read. I will obviously continue to get books out of the library and all of that stuff, and I won't just be reading what's on my physical TBR, but I would like to give it a bit more priority this year, and not add to it quite as much as I did in 2025. You know, I feel like for some people their TBR is a library and they browse their own library and that works really well for them, and for some people their TBR is a to-do list, and I feel like the kind of person I am and my kind of mindset, my TBR will always be a to-do list, and so to a certain extent the bigger it is the less content I am. On the other hand, I do feel very pleased with like the variety of stuff on my TBR at the moment. I feel like there's a lot more classics on my physical TBR than there were this time last year, which is nice considering how much I love classics and how often I read them, but still I feel like I should not keep acquiring as many books as I did in 2025. Anyway, this is turning into a ramble, so I will stop now, but thank you very much for watching this video. Do let me know if you have read any of these books, what you thought of them, and otherwise I'll be back very soon with another bookish video.